Then interesting question, how to evaluate those trends. And by trends, I mean you should be able to really understood where are you going to. And I would call it desired state. And only knowing what you want to get, you can build the model for the training sessions. And desired state should be framed very precisely. Like you would like to say, you want to your horse to be able to do what? Like in the training session of 50 minutes or 45 minutes, it should be able to do this, and that. And also this, and this, and do this with a well movement, with well balanced in terms of symmetry, and with consistent in terms of their rhythms, and in a good level of impulsion of all movements. This for you a desired state. Then you should be clear where are you starting? What was your history? Because every horse is different. And if your horse never ever in the past did something like you want, okay, be then uh, kind of mindful and not expect it will happen ever. It may happen, you may get to this, but you need time to get to this. Then assess your current state. See how horse is performing now after the break you had, regardless of the reason for the break. So history, it is potential, but past, because it's history. Horse was able to do so, something, like we can describe what it is, but it was in the past. Then something happened, you have a break of time, like a half a year or something. Now you kind of starting horse from the beginning. You should not expect that horse is able to perform the same way after this long-term break. But you have a chance to get to the same stage or even better. So then, based on this understanding, you should decide how to build up your schedule for development based on model we discussed, based on charts we discussed, all of this for you to develop this model. And then you can see the progress using the trend charts. And the trend chart itself has a lot data to review and learn and make a conclusions. So you see the same time frame here, November 28 till December. So on the left side, the charts about the intensity, about the rhythm and impulsion, and those three charts about the symmetry. Let us zoom into this. So here you see a frame, November 30, and those are the split trainings. So November 30, it was one-day training split in 5 sessions. And we can see how those 5 sessions were performing based on impulsion. Impulsion more or less equal for each of them because we split equally in terms of time. But then you can see for the walk, how walk elements was done in this day. And interestingly, you can clearly see very big and consistent at the end. So this final session for the horse, I would say was tough because horse was moving quick, small steps, high BPM, and also with lower level of impulsion. So it's really saying that this structure of the training for horse was give her good set of development here, but was really enough. So no more for this day. And this inconsistency here and low level of impulsion here giving you these signals. Let us swap to the trot and see what happened with the trot. And here you can notice it was a day of the landing symmetry with a high asymmetry on the third part of the training. So it was exercise when horse was asked to do extensions on the trot. And horse wasn't able to balance the weight as well as effort of push. So it wasn't balanced in terms of moving the body forward and pushing diagonals equally, and of course asymmetrically landing the weight. While on the view, it wasn't viewed as a problem in the terms of the rhythm on the trot. So rhythm was well symmetrical, and it's great for the horse was able to manage to get to unlame movements, while it was tough for horse. And we see these exercises was difficult to perform. And finally, at the final session, which is here, we see again, it was just cooling down, but even in the cooling down, push off was tough for horse. So horse wasn't able to push cooling trot equally, and the left diagonal was weaker. So we see dot on the right means it's stronger, and the orange means high level of pushing. So it was tough for horse to move. So this we can see from the even trend charts and easily understood it, and conclude from the training we just done how it was during the day. Then if you compare with this frame, again, it's split a training session, December 15th, it almost several days ago. And here we can see a different picture. Again, a lot of development, and we see higher dynamic of the impulsion, means exercises was differently organized. Here's a very heavy exercises. Here's a really cooling down. So it's very broader distributed effort within the parts of the training session. So that's why it's important to also make a audio comments for yourself to be sure you remember what you did in a specific session, not just comments in the comment field, which is great. Also, I recommend to make an audio recording while you're writing. You can just tell yourself what you feel, what you do, and then this audio will help you to review specific frame of the training and learn and remember what was exercises and understand better what this means. But you can see here again in this training frame, and particularly in this one, was a huge inconsistency of the rhythm, because something new was asked for horse to do, and it was easy for horse. The same impulsion level changed heavily here, while maintained in a good level. And during whole session, it was decline. So means for horse, this part was very comfortable, warming up and the first exercise, but then second and the third and fourth part was challenging to keep the same level of effort. And then the cooling down is better in terms of the effort. So horse is not exhausted in this moment, but what we can say in terms of the rhythm, it was very low. So it moving low steps, which is actually not bad. The low number of steps per minute means a little bit even suspension. And we see here a little bit increase in the effort versus previous exercise. So I would say the final exercise was for horse not bad, but still we have an issue with the push-off. It was tough to make it equally. So horse start moving relaxed, but equality is not there. And we see it changed. So now in terms of symmetry of development, like we were working on the one diagonal and finally improve it. Now we see, okay, looks like another diagonal. Now need more exercises and more effort to support. So here, changing between days and between exercises, giving us information to adjust the training practice in the adjust training session. But what important, the horse capable to maintain equal rhythm for during all of those sessions, equal symmetry of the rhythm. Because at the end of the day, this is what is visible. Visible part is here. Those invisible for us, we can just feel it by writing and also by reading the charts. And this gives us information that final session was challenging. and need to do something in the next sessions to improve. That's for the symmetry trends. And final recommendation, which I would strongly advise to make those comparison easier for you, to create at least 2 profiles for each of your horse. Why it's better? Because then you can, in one profile, like call it my horse working days, you can have it full sessions or can call it full training sessions for the horse and compare full session versus full sessions. On the second profile, you can have just a splitted sessions. And then your trends will be showing how split parts of the specific exercises are evolving, which would help you to compare charts nicely because they would be not mixing up. But it's not necessary. You can see, as we just did, you can keep it in a separate, in a one horse and understood how they differ, but has to be wise and remember why this session is different from another and starting from the time. So if it's the short session, like 3 to 5 minutes, important to remember this specific exercise measures and then conclude based on that. If it's longer session, please remember within the longer session, you have several different exercises and the chart shows you the average picture for the whole training session, including all of those exercises have inside. And this better to understand and great to have this knowledge and in comparison not mix them up in conclusion. Okay,